Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of Kabir Considers. In this video, we're going to react to an honest American reaction to the UK's NHS, maternity leave, annual leave, etc. So basically, the things that are in place for employees here in the UK. So it's going to be interesting to see what she makes of this, because salaries here in the UK are a lot lower than they are in the USA. They are. But, you know, we do get a lot of benefits that maybe Americans, for the most part, don't get. I know it varies. You know, if you negotiate well, you could probably get the same amount of annual leave, if not more. Like here, 28 days is about the standard that you get. So basically like a month's worth of annual leave paid. Sick days usually between 10 and 20, something like that, paid. The maternity leave, I think it's 6 months full pay, 3 months half pay, and then 3 months of no pay. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what she makes of it, because I'm not quite sure what the American equivalents are. I don't think they're the same though.
£200, is that our final guess?
That is, yes.
Okay. It costs £0.
What?
Alright, let's go.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Girl Gone London channel. If you're new here, my name is Kaylin. I'm an American who's lived in the UK for almost 10 years, except now I'm in America and this is my best friend, Emily. In this video, you guys wanted me to get my friends and family's reactions to certain facts about the UK or things about the UK that are different from the US. So Emily has been to the UK a few times to visit me and is pretty well up on things. I've come up with some questions that I'm gonna ask, and she is going to react to different things about the UK, and we're just gonna have a discussion about some of the differences. Okay, the first question. Do you know how many different nations make up the UK? Now, I get in trouble for this.
This is an easy... Actually, no, it's not. Oh, it's kind of a trick question. England, Scotland, Ireland, Wales, but it's only like Northern Ireland, I believe. Not Republic.
Because I'm not even sure if you call them nations or country. I mean, it's countries. Like, how many different countries make up the UK?
Oh, gosh.
You can do it.
I'm gonna expose myself.
Okay.
Come on, you can do it.
Okay, what's the first country that you've been to?
England.
Okay.
Okay.
What's the next one?
Scotland.
Okay.
Okay.
What's the other one that's on the same landmass that we didn't go to?
Ireland. Wales.
Wales. And the fourth one is
Northern Ireland.
Northern Ireland.
Northern Ireland.
Oh wow.
Well done.
My geography skills are coming out.
There you go.
Watch out.
And you guys at home watching this, like Americans, be honest. Did you get it right? Be honest.
But if any of you British people tried to name the American states, I bet you couldn't.
Ooh.
Okay.
I could do at least 30, I think. No, more.
How much do you think it costs for an ambulance ride in the UK?
Oh wow.
In pounds.
In pounds? Okay. Part of me wants to say like 200 pounds. I don't know.
Okay, £200, is that our final guess?
That is, yes.
Okay. It costs £0.
What?
Yeah, because at the NHS, you don't have to pay for an ambulance ride.
I mean, here.
So hang on a minute. So how does it work in America? So if you call an ambulance, if you're lying there, you're lying there, do they get your wallet out first before they put you in the ambulance? Like, how does it work? Like, do they do some kind of wallet biopsy? I've heard that they do wallet biopsies in America. Is that true? That they check if you've got a health insurance card before they put you in the ambulance. Is that true?
Here, we just choose to use our own cars. Like, you could have your arm chopped off. We're like, no, we got it. I'll take the Honda.
Yeah, because an ambulance ride costs so much here.
Yeah, I think I couldn't even give you a ballpark because it's so...
I think it's in the thousands.
Yeah. So
yeah,
we just don't...
free. I mean, you pay for it, obviously, at some point.
Right,
but you don't pay, per ambulance ride.
Right.
£0.
Wow.
There you go.
Shocked.
That's actually shocked.
We
used to have lots of American students when I used to have a different job who would be like the same thing. You're like, I'm not going to the hospital. And we're like, why? And they're like, because I can't afford it. And we're like, it's free.
It's free.
That's the point of the NHS.
Yeah.
That's actually so sad though, you know. So you're seriously hurt and people are not calling an ambulance because of the money. Man, I wonder how many lives are lost every year because of that.
Next question. How much do you think like the first income tax percentage is? So there's a certain percentage, it's like 0% if you make like under 11,000 pounds, but like the first, once you start earning, what percentage is income tax? In percent numbers.
Oh God.
Just take a guess.
To be honest, this is a tricky one. So I think the first £12,500, there's no tax. And then I think from 12,500 to like, oh God, like 30, it's like 20%, I think.
Maybe 5%? I don't know.
Okay, the guess is 5%.
Yes.
It's 20%.
Okay, so it's way off.
20% is the first like income tax bracket.
Dang.
But that stuff goes towards things like the NHS
Right,
and
like-
stuff. What is income tax here? We're in Florida. Do you even know?
Ooh.
Florida doesn't have income tax, does it?
I don't think so. California
Wow.
does, I think.
So do you pay, what do you pay in like
Just sales
what type?
tax.
Yeah.
Like, I think
We-
7.5%.
But hold on a minute. On your salary in Florida, you don't pay any tax? What?
Percent sales tax.
I think something
No
around
way.
that.
But then do you keep all of the money that your employer gives you?
No, because some of it comes out in like Social Security.
Social Security and
Yeah.
stuff. Okay. Yeah, but I don't think Florida has an income tax.
Right. I don't think so.
Okay. So Florida 0, UK 20%.
20.
As the first.
Here I was thinking 5.
starting point. Okay, next question.
Hard question,
How
hard
many
question.
sick days do you think you get in the UK?
Oh gosh. And this is different.
How
than,
many
like,
sick days do you get? Do you know? Is it like a number?
Well, ours is kind of weird because we kind of combine it with our holiday time.
Okay.
So we get technically 3 weeks of PTO that we could use when we're sick or if we're going to the UK. So
Okay.
3 weeks.
But I'm
what, in
thinking
total?
you guys would probably get maybe like 2 weeks of sick time.
Okay, it's basically unlimited because if you're sick, then they're not gonna make you. Yeah.
But that's only if you're like a permanent employee. Like if you're like working through an agency, you don't get any of those sort of benefits like sick days, holiday pay.
That shocks me.
So-
that would never happen.
The next question is going to be about paid time off, or what they would call annual leave. But for the most part, if you're ill, what they call being sick, because being sick, do you know what being sick means in the UK?
What?
It means throwing up.
Oh.
So I'm always like, oh, I've been sick, and they
Yeah.
think they mean, a lot of people will use that to be like, oh, I've thrown up.
Oh.
Americans don't say. We say like sick to mean the same thing as ill, which is what British people say.
Oh.
But yeah, like it doesn't take away from your vacation time if you're sick. Isn't that crazy?
That's crazy. That's
I know.
very different from how we
Don't you want to
operate.
move to the UK?
I
Wow, so you've got 3 weeks in total. So if you're sick, it comes out of that 3 weeks. And if you go on vacation, it all comes out of that 3 weeks. I see.
mean, you could get the flu and you still have to be cranking out those emails.
Yeah.
So
Okay, the next question is how many vacation days do you think we get in the UK? Like in days, and it's mandated by the government.
maybe like 20 days a year.
Good guess, closer. So it's 28 days. That can include bank holidays, like there's like 8 of them
Yeah,
or
like
something.
Christmas.
So they can tell you that you have to like take Christmas off, and that counts towards the 28. So it basically for most people works out to 4 weeks-ish. 4 to 5 weeks.
Wow, that's
As minimum.
Yeah.
Minimum.
that's crazy. That we're lucky if we get maybe a week here.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
What?
You saying 3 weeks, I was
Yeah.
like, wow.
and that's sick
And that's
combined with
also sick.
vacation. So
Man.
So, yeah.
But can you negotiate more? Like when you're taking a new job, can you try and get more paid, vacation? Like a week is just not enough for a whole year, I don't think.
Okay, next question. How
Like how many days off do you get? Like, dear viewer, like how many paid vacation days do you have?
many days or weeks do you think a pregnant woman could get of maternity leave in the UK?
maybe I'm just gonna say maybe 4 weeks.
Higher.
Really? Okay. 6 weeks?
Higher. Times it by like 10. 52 weeks, a whole year.
A whole year?
A whole year. So it's not all paid. It's like some of it's paid and some of it depends on if you've been employed somewhere. Like there's different situations, but it's a full year.
What?
A full year.
What?
How many maternity days are mandated in the US? 0 days.
Yeah.
What?
I think it's one of the only countries in the world that.
So hold on, if you have a baby, like what? You have to, as soon as you give birth, you're back to work the next day? No way. There's no way. There's definitely maternity leave in the US, surely, right?
Doesn't have like mandated time, like your employer gets to decide.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, a full
No
year. What do you
way.
think about that?
I think that is shocking. That is like we're fending for ourselves. Like, good luck trying to take the baby to work.
Yeah.
Have them become the new intern.
It's crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy to me.
Cuckoo gaga.
Okay, final two. Jaywalking.
Okay.
Legal? Do you do it? Legal or illegal in the UK?
To answer your first question, I do, but not. I'm outing myself. In the UK, I feel like it is legal there, though.
It is.
Yeah.
You won't get in trouble for jaywalking.
'Cause I
And
think-
they think
yeah.
it's weird that Americans
Really?
can't cross the street where they want.
I think because we were in London doing something, and everyone just started going, like, you know.
But jaywalking's not really enforced. It's not really sort of like taken seriously. Like I was in New York last year, and I think I jaywalked, and I didn't get thrown to the ground by a police officer with a baton in his hand, like.
No,
Yep.
There's no time to waste.
They
You gotta
just
hustle. So,
Yeah.
but in America, it's very much like you're looked at like, ooh, look at that crazy person.
Don't
just
cross unless
Don't do anything. Like
you're at a crossing.
Yeah.
And it's your turn to go,
That's
which is
crazy.
weird.
Yeah.
But I feel like the UK is more of a pedestrian place. Anyway.
Because if there's no cars in the road, why can't you cross the road?
Yeah.
So maybe that makes sense. Whereas
think
here, if you're in the suburbs, like where we live in Florida, where we grew up, like you're not walking anywhere. That's
No,
weird.
that's very strange.
So strange.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, final question. This is open ended.
Okay.
Do you have any idea what an allotment is?
Gosh.
Allotment.
Something to do with time, in your job, maybe. Like,
I feel like that's a good guess, but that has nothing to do with it.
really?
So an allotment is basically when they. Okay, so you know how in the UK garden means yard?
Yes.
So an allotment is, I feel like, what we would call a garden, but they are not in their house.
Yeah,
So think
somewhere
of like a
else.
village.
Okay.
They will have a piece of land that's divided up into like
That you
rectangles.
can do what you
Yeah.
want with.
And each one is basically an allotment, or it's basically a garden that you can, I guess you rent it.
Yeah, and you can grow stuff like crops on it. You can do whatever you want with it, basically.
Or you can own it, but it's not in your backyard, but it's a like so it's like if you have an allotment, you go to this place like in the village or wherever you live to like tend to your vegetables, but it's not in your house. It's not near your house.
I like that.
So,
It's like a little garden away from your home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Basically.
nice. It's kind of charming.
Yeah.
I don't know if we would.
I don't think you would ever need that in the US because you have so much space. Everybody pretty much has a yard, don't they?
We like farm, but not.
Yeah, we don't have allotment.
I mean,
Maybe they do in cities, but I've never actually seen one.
right.
We didn't grow up in the city.
No.
But even in the suburbs of the UK, they have allotments. I feel like it's because there's no space for actual gardening
That's
in many
true.
people's houses, whereas here you would just have it in your backyard.
Yeah.
But yeah, an allotment is like a garden away from your home.
Yeah. I know there's going to be some people who watch that and think, the UK, in terms of looking after its employees, it's doing it right. I mean, no. Like, yes, there are certain things that I'm really grateful for, like the NHS and pretty much everything else that she discussed. But salaries here are terrible. Terrible. There's been so much salary suppression, like since almost 2008, like when the big financial crash happened, salaries just stopped growing at that point. Whereas the cost of everything else just had a steep incline. But that said, I am grateful for the benefits we get here in the UK for sure. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.